Hello, beautiful souls. Satnam. Welcome to my YouTube channel, my first ever. 3 daughters, and I am a gardener. I'm also a geographer, so I have many skills that I've been developing over many years. And I was inspired by the Hay House publishing workshop that I went to 2 weeks ago in Toronto. And I decided that I would like to share a lot of what I've been learning over these years on my own spiritual journey, my own journey here as a human being. And I've had just many spiritual experiences, near-death experience when I was 13 years old, and just lots of different adventures, as some of you who know me know. So I'm a little nervous. This is a big thing for me to do. I've had a fear of public speaking since I was very young, but I've been getting over that through community work and activism and just different ways for me to speak in public. And I hope that I'm going to get better at it. This is my first one. You can only get better if you actually practice, right? So that's what I'm doing. This channel came to me as I was working on writing my book, which I'm inspired to do through a book called The Artist's Way, which I know a lot of you probably know this book. It's been around for over 25 years. And as I'm doing all of these activities, I realized that I came upon a quote that was super inspiring that told me, there's so many YouTubes out there. There's so much going on. Like, why would anyone want to add anything else? Like, maybe it's just too much information, right? But another part of me was like, I feel like sharing. I feel like I've had a certain privilege of studying many topics, including spirituality as a yoga teacher. And an activist in my community for making change in the world through the transition movement, for example, that I've been very involved with for the past 6 years. And this quote really stuck with me. And I said, you know what? Do it. Like, people, your creativity and your vision of the world is unique and important. And these times are asking us to step up, to step out of our fear of persecution or judgment and all of these things. But you know what? Like, those days are over. If you don't resonate with me, if you don't like what I'm saying, then you can go somewhere else. So, we're here to live our lives and to share our truths. And that's what I intend on doing by just speaking my own truth through my own experiential wisdom that I've gained over the years, over these past 44 years. So I just want to read you what inspired me to actually get this going. It's there is a vitality, a life force, an energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all of time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and will be lost. So yeah, I'm unique. You're unique. In our diversity, we're all one. We know that through a lot of the spiritual, a lot of the spiritual works from masters and yogis, and anyone who's on the path, sees that there's this story that we're all part of, and we need to play our roles and we need to step up. So that's what I'm doing in my own, my own way. I feel a sense of responsibility with the information that I've had the privilege of gathering over the years, and the experiences, and a certain affluence in consideration to most of the world's population. I know that I am part of the very privileged people to be living here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And I want to honor that, and I want to be responsible and share if it can inspire and help others, and maybe synthesize a lot of the information that I've been gathering. For example, back in 2009, my mother passed away. And I went away on a retreat, a spiritual retreat in silence, in nature. And that was one of my big moments of connection to spirit 9 years ago. And she was with me, and nature was with me, and I had a lot of communication and signs, and just a lot of these synchronicities that I know a lot of you are experiencing these days, if you are on the spiritual path. And but that was a big awakening for me, and through this, I connected to my inner self. I was reading Henry David Thoreau at the time, and he's always inspired me with his beautiful writing, and also being a geographer and somebody who observed nature and was a bit of a rebel, didn't really like what was going on in the industrial age. And I really resonated with that, having grown up in the wild. And anyways, that's my little story. But I'm writing all of this, and I'm feeling that I do have a unique perspective and vision of the world, and so yeah, so I'm going to be sharing more of this. I'm going to be doing a video probably once a week, unless something else really inspires me and I want to do more. But that's my intention. And my intention with this channel called Sun Heart Harmony is to connect to our hearts and harmonize, because more and more science is showing us that when we connect to our hearts, there's a very strong magnetic force there that that informs us through our emotions and through our experiences, what feels right, what resonates, what, and then how we can connect to that and share from that space, versus the mental chatter that can go on and like confuse us and cause a lot of pain, because we're not aligning with our emotions and our hearts. And that's really the journey, is to how do I connect to my heart? How do I harmonize my heart with my environment and my relationships, so that I can really be coming from that place and sharing it and radiating that out into the world, because God knows we need it right now. There's so much division and duality and separation and anxiety and stress and turmoil. And that is a vibration. And there's a very strong overlay with us in these times, in this system, that things are not right. There's been a lot of foundational things that were not built on, love and cooperation. But these times are changing. We've entered the age of Aquarius, and the end of a cycle with 2012. Some of you are probably familiar with the Mayan calendar. It wasn't the end of the world. It was the end of a certain world, of a certain frequency. And now we're entering a new phase of our development as human beings on Earth, and of consciousness, because everything is consciousness. That's what quantum physics is showing us, and that's what the yogis have talked about. And right now, there's a beautiful bridge being built between science and spirituality. And this is just, if you're into that, it's everywhere. The information is all around us. And actually, I want to post some of the links to some of the most inspiring people, such as Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton, and all of these like amazing people that have been speaking about this for several years now, and are touring and are really helping to inform people about heart coherence and about the biology of belief. So your belief system creates your reality. And therefore, we're not victims of our genetics. We are creators. Hence the creative, the creative force that is within us, and using that for bettering our world. Because basically, why are we here? If it's, why are we here? And these are questions that I've had since as a child. And I've always been curious about trying to understand my place in the world and what this whole thing is all about, especially after near-death experience and then other experiences, which, I'll share my story through video, and my inspiration and whatever wants to come through and be shared, because I'm really kind of winging this. I took a few notes, I presented myself, my name, and my life, and but for the rest, it's really about being inspired and whatever wants to come through. So being that channel, of information to uplift the world, you know, to help us, just vibrate at a higher frequency and stop patterns and a lot of the karmic things that repeat in our world and they cause us pain, because we know that we can, there's something beyond this and better than this that we can tap into. And I've been tapping into that more and more and more with my own experience. So I just want to share that. So yeah. So I also have these beautiful cards that I bought at the Hay House Publishing Writers Workshop. And this, what also inspired me to do this is that, you know, no matter what age you are or where you are on your journey, you can start and have, if you have something to offer the world, like, do it. Because someone like, say, Louise Hay, she wrote her first book called Healing Your Life, and at the age of 60, and everything changed after that for her, and things got bigger, and you know, Hay House Publishing started, and it was like, wow, like, you know, you can, when you're inspired, and I call it divine inspiration, because something happens in the heart and in the frequency in your own body where you're like, you get excited and you know that you're tapped into something, and, you know, it's the great mystery. And, you know, I don't want to say that I know, because I really don't. It is a grand mystery. But what I'm saying is that I've been aligning my life with my creative force in Kundalini yoga. It's called Shakti, Kundalini, which is the energy that flows, you know, throughout your body and your. Anyways, I'm going to talk more about that probably in another video, because there's so much, you know, I feel like I have so much to share, and I can't do it on Facebook, you know, I can't do it. So I feel like this is a really great medium for me to do that. Yeah. And so that's what I'm going to do. And so, yeah, I just want to share these cards that are super inspiring. They have beautiful artwork. I got this one, and actually Colette Baron Reed was speaking, and she's like an awesome lady, so much personality and strength, and has been through so much. And she's, you know, she's a survivor, and she's a shaman, and she's someone that I really admire, because she's living her life and her truth, and creating beautiful, inspiring work. And so this last oracle deck that she created with Alberto Villaldo, who's also somebody that does a lot of shamanism and meditations, and you can find his work. He's very inspiring as well. And Marcela Lobos, which I know a bit less, but anyways, this is called Mystical Shaman Oracle Guidebook. And I pulled out, so my intention when I pulled out the card was, what is the best information that can be given to the people who are going to be watching this video? So what kind of information can I share? And I got this card, which is the Ancient Ones. You can see how beautiful the artwork is there. And it's number 1. So that's kind of cool. And the information is really amazing too, because that's what it speaks of. Is it says, the Ancient Ones are the shamans of old who defeated death and escaped from the tyranny of time. The Ancient Ones once walked the earth like us in flesh and blood. Now they reside in infinity and can counsel us after we say yes to our calling. They are available to help us attain our full realization. So the invitation of the Ancient Ones are inviting you to reach to the future to help birth a new destiny for Earth. Ooh, my crown chakra is like totally tingling right now. So that's, you know, once your body is speaking to you, things are happening, and you can trust that. And that's what I'm doing now. So go ahead, find out who you are becoming 10,000 years from now. So think about that for a second. Ooh. If you accept the invitation, great power and blessings will come your way and allow you to craft a new destiny for yourself. Do not hesitate to bite off more than you can chew, because you have unlimited spiritual resources available right now. Yep. So the Ancient Ones beseech you to examine your attitudes and actions. This is the medicine. So this is where you have to look out for things. Be sure that they are of the highest integrity. So I think as the new earth, as we are, you know, just emerging out of the old, and we can see that these old systems are not working anymore, and we need new ways. We don't know exactly what to do, but we know we have to do something, which is what I've always felt. And that's why I've been a community activist for many years. But this is the thing, it's about integrity. So are you, first of all, in integrity and authentic with yourself? Like, that's the number one place we have to start. You can't change the world out there if you're not changing it inside. That's number one, starting there. So that's where the integrity comes in. Are you aligned with your values? Are you? So anyways, that's actually the next card. So this card is about not forgiving an ancestor or yourself keeps you from the freedom that you seek. Remember, this is no longer your karma. You can break the chains that once bound you to the family drama and be free of generational curses. Forgive the ones you need to release. Honor your biological ancestors and by lighting a candle to them tonight. So I will do that. And maybe you will do that too. So it's not about blaming. It's not about, the victimization thing. Like, we are responsible for creating our realities. And this is becoming a truth more and more and more through science and through, like I said, I'm going to post a lot of information for you. So if you're new to this path, then you can start doing your own research. Like, don't take my word. This is my experience. This is the way I'm interpreting things. But it's been powerful realization, self-realization through all of this examination of information. It's all rhyming. So anyways, that's that card. So this is the Mystical Shaman Oracle guidebook. And this one is called The Journey of Love. It's a beautiful, also very beautiful. This one's by Alana Fairchild, Rasuli, and Richard Cohn. And this one I picked the Christ Flame. See, there's the beautiful card. I just love the artwork. I love, painting and sculpting, and I love working with my hands, the garden. And I feel like when I work with my hands, I'm more connected. So that's the card I picked. Anyways, I don't know where I'm going. Within you burns the flame of Christ. So Christ, in this sense, is not necessarily the person but the embodiment of, that light, that crystals, the Christ consciousness. It's about our own light, our own truth. We are photons of energy and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I'm not going to get into the whole quantum thing right now, because that might be too much for one video. Ooh, I'm already at 17 minutes. Wow. I thought I was going to keep it at 15 minutes, but I guess it's over 15 minutes. So that's okay. I'm not giving myself any kind of like superstructure of like rigidity or any of that, because creativity doesn't like that very much. So whatever happens. Maybe I'll have some videos where I'll have like, it'll be 5 minutes, maybe it'll be 25 minutes, like, we'll see. We'll just go with the flow. I'm a Pisces, so that we do that a lot. So through the awakening of the Christ within brings greater closeness to the divine, and therefore greater love and depth of compassion. It too can bring sadness, righteous anger, and a passionate need to contribute positive healing action and change in the world. You may be an introspective soul who does this through mastering their inner world with meditation and yoga, raising your own vibration with absolute intent that this brings healing to the world around you. You may be an extroverted soul that thrives in sharing messages and living a life of dynamic action in support of the causes that you're worthy and moving to your brave heart, through your brave heart. Yeah. Capable of feeling divine outrage and responding with inspired action. Well, there's a lot of things to be angry about, right? But we need to be active about changing them, or else complaining and whining and screaming, and that, I've done that. But that doesn't really serve in the best way. So you may be a combination of these soul types, and choosing wisely what you consume, which companies you support, what television you do or do not watch. I haven't watched television in over 10 years, by the way. What you read. So voting for the life you want to have around you in the world through your actions, internal and external. This is the Christ flame igniting within you, setting the world aflame with the fire of divine love. This oracle brings guidance that you are connecting with the universal Christ consciousness, and your heart is meant to awaken as a sacred heart, and bring the Christ flame of divine love in this lifetime. You are part of the wave of awakening happening on earth right now. You are exactly where you are meant to be and doing exactly what you are meant to be. You're who you are meant to be and where you are meant to be going. So keep going. And then there's a little poem here that is after. So it's so beautiful. I feel like it's inspiring, and you might also resonate with this. So, love is more than words can define. It is a feeling which wells up inside and longs for release. It is a smile which starts in my heart and spreads across my face like a silly grin. It is a knowing so deep in my being that every cell speaks in a language only lovers know. And most of all, it is the beginning, the birth, the possibility, the promise of a tomorrow, that hope that grows into something we can only imagine when hearts combine and love becomes more. So on that note, I'm going to, I think this is enough for one time. I was going to do a meditation and all that, but I'm feeling like this is enough for the first time for me. And so hopefully this served you in helping just to uplift your own vibration, because there's so many beautiful things happening out there that's what I want to focus on. You know, there's enough negativity, there's enough of CNN, you know, constant negative news. It's all happening, but in parallel to that, there's this beautiful new earth paradigm happening with beautiful people, and maybe eventually I'd also like to interview some of them. Some of them are have become very good friends of mine and have inspired me and empowered me, because I'm not alone. You know, we're not alone. There's a lot of us out there with very big hearts that want to do something and change things, and it's together. This is the era. The Aquarian age is all about cooperation, and it's about integrity and authenticity. So as long as you keep realigning with that, and, you know, forgiving yourself for when you fall off track, and, you know, it's going to happen. We are humans and we're learning. And Ho'oponopono is an excellent meditation that you can do for that. It's a very powerful Hawaiian mantra. So I highly recommend that one. And yeah, I will talk a little bit. I'll do some from the Kundalini yoga. That's my own. I've been practicing for 9 years now, and I'm a certified teacher since last June. And I really do resonate with a lot of the mantras and the body, the Shakti, and you know, getting in touch with that, because ultimately spirituality is, you know, bringing from a higher place into this world, into this plane, into the material reality, which is, you know, Ma, Mater, Mother, the earth. That whole part has been completely, you know, neglected, annihilated, suppressed. We all know that, but now the divine feminine is rising, and we're rising together, and together with our brothers too, because the feminine is in all of us, right? And just keeping that energy strong, the intuition, the reflection, and then also the materialization of the spirituality or the higher place that our hearts know. You know, like Charles Eisenstein says, you know, the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible, and it is possible, and we need to create it and come together and do that. So that's it. That's my 24-minute first YouTube channel, and thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me, and for all, you know, my friends, my family, and I am very grateful, and I will be with you again soon. Thank you.